Hello you lovely people and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest update for the SC Designs F5 Tiger II. Now if I bring the changelog in, we'll enlarge that. You can see I grabbed this from the Just Flight website. So we're at version 1.0.1. Now there's been some confusion over that, as some people are saying it's version 1.0.2, but as far as I'm aware, that is the correct version number. Anyway, fixed flight model bugs with all new system to remove incorrect behaviours seen by some users. Fixed fuel system bugs to ensure external tanks and crossfeed work correctly. Fixed cockpit LOD models so that the high poly cockpit can be seen externally out to greater distances. Improved code for numerous cockpit gauges to better reflect real world measurements. Improved angle of landing lights to better illuminate runway at night. Altered landing light code to avoid flashing in the cockpit. Added a huffer cart. That's the machine that deploys air to get the turbines spinning so that the engines can start. Cockpit ladder under automated visibility code. Added drag chute braking effect when landing via spoiler deployment while in the landing roll. Some people may like this, some people may not. Instead of pulling the drag chute handle, you just deploy the spoilers and the chute will come out with it and then disappear once below 40 knots. It's going to be touch and go on whether that will be popular or not. I know some people like to be more immersed in getting systems deployed and whatever, so there is that. They temporarily removed early extension animation until a better method can be developed. This was causing a few issues, so that's not there for the moment. Added new requirements to checklists. Deeper weathering added to some liveries for improved variation. Old relevant .flt files to prevent air show smoke from displaying at high flight start. And then finally, the jewel in the crown, added Patois Swiss livery. I know a lot of people wanted that one. More popular team that used the F5. There is the Turkish stars, but yeah. Patois Swiss is definitely a crowd pleaser. So that's the changelog for the latest update. I have the pre-release variant and I have the bug where the ventral tank doesn't show, but that's been changed for the release version, so just ignore that for now. So let's get into the liveries. There have been some variation changes, such as the USAF silver has been changed ever so slightly. Again, the weathering has been made more heavier. And then we've got the Patois Swiss, which is what I'm going to use for this video. So let's get on the ground. This is RAF Upper Hayford. Somebody's released this on flightsim.to. Not bad for a freeware. And definitely a nice airfield to fly from. So if you're on PC, thoroughly recommend it. We're just going to choose the ramp here and we'll get in. And before I get started, just a brief of the development of this flight model. The reason for all the bugs and issues that have been found recently is because it was actually outsourced to a third-party company, and they thought that everything had been done, completed, and was ready for release. Externally looked okay. Again, a few of us were encountering bouncing on the floor. I had an engine issue where I was flying and the right engine just all of a sudden just flamed out and wouldn't reignite even though I had fuel on board. So we've all had different things happen across the board, whether it be Xbox, PC. Everyone seems to be sort of seeing different issues, and that was because when the guys over at DC Designs finally looked deep into the coding, they realised that half of it wasn't done properly. So the guys over at DC Designs have just been working flat out to get that all correct, and to get the aircraft how it should have been on release in the first place. So that's the reason why we've been having the issues. But I don't think third-party outsourcing of development of aircraft in the future will be a thing anymore after this issue. So yeah, let's just have a look around the aircraft. So I've noticed a few changes around some of the dials. Again, it is a really nice cockpit, weathered nicely as well. We jump outside, have a look at the Patois Suisse livery, which is looking fantastic. And there's the Huffer cart. As you can see, it's connected in the middle there, where I'm guessing the first stage compressor will be. And that will generate air, blow the turbine, get it spinning, and then fuel's introduced. Boom, we have engine start. So there's the ladder, and we've got chocks and our RBF tags, and like I say, looking very good. So let's get this beauty started up. As you can see, like I said, I've got the bug where the central tank is not there. If I go into weight and balance, as you can see, it is selected, but I'm going to remove that. I'm not going to be doing a huge flight, so I'm going to reduce the fuel down to 30%. Let's jump back in. So first things first, we're going to switch on battery. So click, click. I'm going to switch on the nav light so we get our pilot crew visibility. Get the beacons on. The AOA index lights to the brightest and warning lights to brightest. Okay. So now we can get things rolling. We do have separate covers for the fuel shut-off switches as well. So let's get the left turbine started. And you can see all the fuel pumps are already switched on. We're ready to go, so push that button. Right, wait for it to get to about 20%. Switch on the fuel, shut off valve, close the cover. Okay, switch that over now, close the cover. Let that do its job. While it's doing that, just going to switch on the radar to map and zoom it out one notch. Change my code 1776. Okay, all good. Right. So the left engine's pretty much good to go, so we can turn off the ignition, switch on the generator, we'll start the right engine, do the same thing again. Okay, so we can switch on the fuel shut off, put the cover on. Okay, and we've got good engine start. Zero out the altimeter. Okay, all good. So we can shut off the ignition and switch on generator for number 2, and we can now get going to the end of the runway. So unlike before, where when I released the parking brakes, it would automatically roll. Now we have to actually apply some throttle to get that going. One thing you'll notice about RAF Upper Heyford, every single F111 is chief. Not going to complain at that because F111's on the ground. Looks good. Okay, so let's just throttle up a bit. Now we need to switch on our lights. And as you can see, we've got a nice smooth rolling motion on the ground, and the handling is superb now compared to bumbling about that it was doing for some people beforehand. I did get it when I first had the first variant of it, but that seemed to just disappear strangely. And like I say, we've all witnessed different issues which I can't quite understand. I would have thought we would all be you know, having the same issues, but there you go. So this is EOR, or end of runway, where the checks would normally take place. So you can see we've got an F111 already there. That's not going anywhere, it's just static. We're just going to park up here for a second, go over a few things before we venture out. Okay, brakes on. Okay, all is good. Right, now we also have, if you look at the flap indicator here, we had an issue where it was either up, auto, or down, which isn't correct. It's up for the moment. You click down, it'll go into a fixed takeoff position. Down again, it goes to auto, and down again to full. So we need fixed for takeoff. Just make sure everything is where it should be. Okay, I'm just going to check and make sure everything's good. We still have a bit of a problem with the starboard side nav light and beacon. I believe the beacon on the tail should be red on the starboard side, same as port. I'm not 100% sure, but they're still showing as whitish, as you can see. But there is an issue with the lighting at the moment. Okay, so we jump back in. Let's make our way to the end of the runway. Brake here. Right, okay, so I'm going to throttle up to around 100%. Not going to go full pelt, just get the engines up and running for the reheat stage or afterburner stage. And you can see the RPM needles actually are behaving themselves now as well. They're climbing, they don't climb, dip, then climb again. So we'll get that to about 100% or just below. Okay. Keep the brakes on, and now we're going to release brakes and go to reheat, and we're off. Okay, we're going to trim out up slightly. .150, rotate. Okay, and now we're up. Gear up. Flaps up. Trim down, because otherwise we'll shoot to the moon. Bit of a side wind there, blowing us off course. Okay, we're going to go to 400 knots and then burners off, and up we go. Keep the angle of attack below 15 degrees, we don't want to overstress it. Okay, beautifully smooth roll over the top there. Brake right over to the live side, not the technical side, and just try and do a tight turn without overstress again. So okay, we're going to keep that below 15 degrees AOA. Okay, keeping the power on, bring it down slightly. Bringing it down, bringing it down. Okay. And beautiful. Yep, lovely little tightish turn there, and we're going to bring it up and over the top again. Okay, 400 knots off the reheat. Pulling up. And there's the stall warning, or pre-stall warning. Okay, roll over, and let's do another one. Got plenty of time. Still has the really aggressive snap roll, so still need to be careful of that. Obviously, that's a characteristic of the aircraft. It's not an issue with the flight model. Okay. And again, around about 400 knots and below 15 degrees AOA. We're pulling about 4G. Bit high that time, but still. Nice tight turn there. So as you can see, it's very stable, how it should have been on first release. The power climbs really rapid on this thing when you're in level flight. Before you know it, you're heading towards Mach 1. And you'll get the infamous Mach tuck where the nose starts to drop. Okay, we're just going to do a fast fly past, and then I'm going to do some high alpha. Okay, approaching Mach 1, so I don't want to be going too quick. Bit of turbulence there. Lovely stuff. Right, slow this thing down and get it into landing configuration. Speed brakes really kick you in the face when you deploy them now, and the slow down is rapid as well. So we've got some real good control over the aircraft now. Really starting to behave itself. So we're below 250 knots, below 220 knots. To going to deploy the gear. Going to trim up because this is going to be an awkward one. Going to keep it around about 160 knots for now, and just going to drop that into full. Watch that AOA indicator, that will tell us what we need to know. Now if you've read the manual, you'll know that this thing, when in the landing configuration at high alpha, you get less response from the ailerons and you get more response from the rudder. So I'm just going to try and prove that point. So roll's not great using the ailerons. Let's get this thing steady. Okay, now we're going to try with the rudder. As you can see, get a nice roll rate from that, which is something you're not supposed to do on an approach configuration, but I thought I'd do it anyway. Okay, so we're getting climbing slightly. I don't really want to be climbing way too high. So we've got a nice high alpha, nice angle of attack there, about 13 degrees AOA. Get the gear up, flaps up now, and I'm going to bring it in for a landing, because I think you've probably bored of this video now and want to go and try it yourself. So release, it's already out for PC. Came out, well, it comes out, well, it'll be yesterday when this video is released. So yeah, it was released yesterday. Hopefully it's going to be more popular and people are going to be more happy with it now. As for Xbox, anything up to 2 weeks, it's down to Microsoft. So it's heading your way, but again, down to Marketplace and when they want to release it. Didn't realise it's quite so turbulent today. Blimey. Where are we? Start swinging it in now. So get the air brake out now, get the gear down, fixed for now, in with the air brakes. Going to bring it in for a nice long approach because I'm still not used to landing this thing. Still going way too fast. Bring the flaps down to auto. Now we're on final approach, bring them down to fully extended. Okay, get ourselves lined up the runway and trim out, and let the throttle do the work for us. Drifting off. Okay, not my best approach. I'm down. Okay, and get it down below 100 knots if we can with the aero braking. Once below 100 knots, drop the nose, get the gear, get the drag chute and air brakes out, and let it roll to a slow down. Applying a little bit of brake. Okay, we'll roll towards the end. Okay, so there you go. I know that turned into more of a little bit of a demo video. I didn't intend it to be that, but just shows you the change in the aircraft's behaviour and some of the extras, and it's fantastic. Stable aircraft now, completely different aircraft to what it was before. The Cubber's now finally turned into an adult, and it's an aggressive, beautiful machine. So you'll look forward to the update, hopefully. And Xbox users, again, like I say, it'd be either I wouldn't have thought it'd be out this Thursday because Microsoft, but you never know your luck. But more likely next week. Anyway, I hope this has answered some of your questions, and maybe if you haven't bought it yet, piqued your interest. Totally recommend it, especially at $17.99 UK sterling, and whatever it would be in your native currency. So there you go. If you've got this far, thank you for watching, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.